Welcome back, Brian and Geeky.
Hello.
So,
We were talking about books.
books. The Wheel of Time books.
Wheel of Time. In particular, the writing style of Robert Jordan. And I was mentioning how he's very good at writing conversations. It's interesting, and you like to read it, and it's great. There's so many characters and so many little side plots, and sometimes it's hard to keep track. But in particular, was the book, I think it's the 8th book in the series, A Crown of Swords. Is that the 8th one?
7.
7th, okay, 7th one. So,
That's the one we have.
yeah, pretty much. So on the front cover is this picture of the main character in this ruined sort of, when I first looked at it, I thought it was a ruined building, but it's supposed to be like a ruined city. And the book itself was just all of these conversations, and people are preparing, sort of, for some big ordeal, but nothing's happened. And nothing's happened. And nothing's happened. And I'm 20 pages to the end of the book, and nothing has happened. So I was convinced that this scene that's on the front of the book doesn't happen. That somebody just pulled this out of their butt. They were like, oh, let's have the main character stand here and do this. That will be fun. Anyway, in the last 20 pages of the book, the thing happens. The big build-up of the book that took beforehand, 800 pages to talk about, only took 20 pages to get finished. It was over. So of course, the last 7 or 8 pages are just them talking about what just happened, or him getting the Crown of Daggers. The Crown of Swords, sorry. The Crown of Swords was not in the book until the last maybe 10 pages. When they go, oh, here's the Crown of Swords, which you have not heard about up until right now. It's yours now. Great. Awesome. So fun. So that is my only complaint, is that... he also does this thing where there's some big battle coming up. And the whole book is preparing you for it. Characters are preparing... he's preparing you, and you're like, oh great, it's finally going to happen, I'm finally going to read about this big battle. And then the whole thing cuts to sometimes up to a week after the battle is done. And they'll reminisce a little bit about it. They'll be like, oh, when I killed this guy, this happened. But it's only ever maybe a page's worth of reminiscing, and that's all you get of this big event that's supposed to take place. You just get this little snippet, this little recall, so no big deal. That's my only complaint. But I do love the books, and I have and will continue to recommend them as long as you like a long series, because it is 14 books long. And yeah.
I have not read them, but I intend to start reading them soon. I have to finish the book.
You know what I mean.
I have to finish the Ratchet books that we have.
Did you trace that?
Which I'm on the last one out of the ones that we own. And then I'm gonna start reading the Wheel of Time books. So that's gonna be interesting. The Wheel of Time is like one of these things, like, again, like, I feel, okay, I need to work on my speaking skills.
This is why I read out loud. Good.
That's good.
It's good.
Yeah, being part of, a fairly geeky group of people and taking part in geeky pastimes, I knew that there was such a thing as the Wheel of Time growing up, and I was vaguely aware that it was a book series, but I didn't know anything about it.
I didn't know it was so popular. I just I read a lot in high school, and I didn't have the internet back then, so it was not like I could research what people thought of books or, you know, oh, which one should I read next. It was you went to the bookstore and you picked out a book that you thought was good. So sometimes you got a good one and sometimes you got a bad one. So I went and I picked out that one, the Wheel of Time, Eye of the World. I'd never met anybody who had read it up until my brother-in-law, and I'd never been able to talk about it with somebody.
That's
Yeah, talking.
I read out of my friends, I'm pretty sure that I read the most. But even that was mostly in waves, and I would only read like 2 authors. I would read R.A. Salvatore in his Forgotten Realms series, and I would read Dean Koontz.
Ah, Koontz, eh?
Yeah. Koontz King. And that was basically all that. Like, I would reread them, like, all the time. But yeah, I would basically just read those 2 authors. And even that was... I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that was the most out of all of my friends in terms of reading.
Yeah, I was definitely the only one who really read. I had to. I had a really long commute, especially starting in high school. For a kid, anyway, it's really an hour on the bus to and from school. So you had to have something to do, and reading was just kind of the easiest thing. I didn't have a handheld gaming thing like a Nintendo or like a Game Boy or anything like that. I didn't have that back then. And if I did, I certainly wouldn't have had the money to keep the batteries going. We were poor growing up, okay? Batteries was a rare thing. You didn't get things that used batteries, because the only batteries we had would have been the TV remote batteries.
I had a Game Boy.
Which, if I think about it, actually, is, when the batteries in the remote ran out, we did not replace them. Because it was we would always be the who's gonna get up and change the channel sort of deal. Yeah.
We would have batteries for our remotes. And I had a Game Boy. I don't
Oh my gosh. How am I gonna do this in 2 minutes?
Generally, I don't think that I brought my Game Boy to school, except for when Pokemon came out. When Pokemon came out, then I was bringing that thing to school every day. And we were playing it constantly. Like, anytime I'm gonna get a second. Like,
I wish I had friends that played cool video games. I didn't play Pokemon until I was in college. So 2006 or something like that. I never played Pokemon.
I got Pokemon like the day it came out.
Yeah?
Like, honestly, I don't even know how I knew about it or knew that I wanted it. But I did. Like, I got it the day it came out, and so did my friends, and we played it through like a few different times, and like not like, you know, we would play it and then like a year later we would play it. Like, we played it, and then as soon as we were done, we played it again.
What, like you erased your file?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, because, like, you know, when we first got it, like, again, like, I don't know that I knew anything about it before I got it. So it must have just been like my friend telling me like, oh, you know, this game's coming out and it's gonna be awesome, so you need to get it. And we'll continue talking about this in a second. Thanks for watching Surprisingly Geeky. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And follow us on Twitch and Facebook and Twitter. And check out meowington.com for some cute kitty zombies.
Ah, come on.